Gabby the game night, Gabby the game night, Gabby the game night, yay.
Hey, it's Gabby the Game Night here, and I'm back playing some more things for Ace 20,000 Tribulations by Busy, and it's January 8th, 1:21 p.m. District Code Fan Lobby number 1.
So, we're finally going to see the tiger on the stand. No, we're not going to do the voice swap.
No.
So, we're finally going to see the tiger on the stand? We've almost got this case won now, Nick. I wish I could agree. Huh? When I cross-examined Mr. Armstrong just now, he said he was just doing what the tiger told him to do. But Godot picked up on it, remember? He pointed out that without proof, we don't know if what he testified is the truth. You mean you think Mr. Armstrong was lying? I don't know, but if that's the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. I get the feeling that we don't have the case-making evidence we're going to need. Hey, pal!
Could you imagine the hey pal one day it's not Gumshoe?
Is somebody doing a Gumshoe impression? Detective Gumshoe. What are you so jumpy about, Detective? Your hair's standing on end. Hey, that's the pot calling the kettle black, little Miss Top Knot. It's not a top knot. Never mind about the hair. Just calm down, alright? I can't stand still when I don't have a job to do. I kind of get wound up. Arr! No kidding. You gotta have something you need me to do, pal. Anything. Well, hey, I'm gonna take a jog back down to the precinct. I could get some pints analyzed for, or some prints analyzed for you if you've got an hour. An hour? Charles will have reconvened by then. But, Nick, we still don't have a really decisive piece of evidence, right? True. Without some kind of trump card to pull out of the bag, we're really stuck. You said you could get some fingerprint analysis done in an hour? You bet! In that case, now that I'm speaking in green, would you mind checking the prints on this for me?
Check the prints on my attorney's badge! No, obviously that's covering on identified fingerprints.
If you're going back to the station anyway, could you find out whose prints are on this? Oh, hey! That's the small bottle I gave back to you this morning, right? Yeah, I think it's time we solved the last mystery of who the prints on it belong to. Sure thing, pal. Actually, that's been gnawing at me, too. Okay, I'll get this off to the lab right away. Just make sure you don't lose the case before I get back.
Okay, time to stall for an hour. You love stalling in these games, right?
No, it's the worst mechanic ever. This is pretty much the final showdown, I guess. It's time to separate the phonies from the real guys.
It's more of a plot device than mechanic.
Well, I mean, in the last game we had to sit there and actually play out the stall by doing pointless stuff. So in that case, it was a mechanic.
Mechanics.
Well, I mean,
mechanics changed the gameplay.
We used the game mechanic to carry out the plot. Yeah. We had to sit there and actually run through the case as if we were actually trying a case when we weren't.
Hey, January 8th, 1:56 p.m. District Court, quote number 4.
This is the semantics episode.
Course now we convene. Mr. Godot, did you find this Furio Tigre? I even tamed him for you. It was a 3-cup job, no problem.
Tamed him. The guy's name may be Furio Tigre, but come on.
He's pretty lively. Be careful, he still bites. Farewell, please show Mr. Tigre to the stand.
Why is he orange?
Because he's a nice Thai character. When is that? Oh, God. My dog. Doctor skipped. Oh, Maya vanished!
Don't hide under the table, Maya. Unless there's room for me down there, too.
Would you mind?
What you say to me?
Nothing. I didn't say nothing, honest.
Who could have guessed the fear would induce a bad Brooklyn accent in the judge? I got business to take care of, you hear me? So who the hell called me into this hole? Was it you, Spiky? No, of course not. It was the judge.
He's gone.
Your Honor.
Oh dear, I seem to have dropped my pen. Oh no, that's it. I mean, just get on with the proceeding as normal.
There's your chance to Photoshop anybody you like in the judge's chair. That's it. We're doomed. Maybe you didn't hear me. I said, who the hell was it that called me in here? Now see, this is a bad Brooklyn accent, not what the judge did.
There's no need to shout. We can all hear you.
What do you say?
There's no point struggling. You're caught in the snare. The relentless snare of the law.
At least Godot's not taking any shit from the tiger.
And I'm the one that hauled you in.
Ugh. Too cool. Don't let him get the better of you, Nick.
Let's start with the basics. You know about the incident in question, correct?
Incident? I don't know nothing about no stinking incident, masked boy.
You mean you didn't attend to the previous trial of Maggie Bird?
You put an extra 2 in there, pal.
Shut up.
Maggie
I'll
who?
make 2s as I want to.
I've got more important things to do than watch courtroom dramas.
Of course, well, perhaps you could give us your testimony then? Please tell us about what you did on the day of the murder. Is he just gone forever?
You should have, dug down and kind of muffled your voice. Well, now I'm gonna have to lice all that controller. Phoenix Wright. You's the one who set this up, didn't you? You's gonna regret the day you ruffled the tiger's fur. You hear what I'm saying?
No.
Maybe I should have brought a diaper with me today. Jesus Christ, Phoenix. Get a grip, Nick.
Successful underneath the table.
Did she hear his thoughts?
Oh.
I don't know nothing about no murder.
Liar.
I was tied up with business in December last year. Spent all of my time in my office. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from Tender Linda every single day. Yous want to check my alibi? Just ask Violetta.
Ah, now I found my pen. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Cross-examination. Bye. Please, witness, if we go refrain from shouting like that.
I know the kind of games the guy in the blue plays. That lowlife ain't no lawyer. He just punches away at stupid details till he wins. Lowlife? Me? Listen up, Smarty. Every time you ask me something that doesn't relate to this case, I'm gonna bill you $50,000 and you's gonna borrow the cash from me. Duh. That's one more contract I refuse to sign. And don't think it ain't gonna hurt when you tangle with the tiger.
Huh. I love a good spectator sport. Just a man, that's really not. This witnesses. How can I put it? A hungry tiger roaming the urban jungle. Get on his bad side and he'll bite everyone's heads off. Yours too. Very well. I have no choice but the penalty system here.
Yous better be listening. I said I got business to take care of. Big business. If I don't split now, I ain't gonna catch my bus.
Court to impose a penalty for any irrelevant passing of the witness's testimony. Keep in mind that as you begin your cross-examination, Mr. White.
Your Honor, this is bullshit.
It's bullshit.
You can do it, Nick.
Don't worry, I have a solution. Alright, game saved. And now penalties mean nothing to me.
Come out from under there already, would you, Maya? I don't need any under desk support right now. I held in as long as I could.
Okay. So like what business in December?
Are you sure about that? We're talking about 1 month ago, you know. You see these teeth? That's how sharp my secretary is. Sharp? Is he talking about Viola Cadaverini? She writes everything in my scheduler. December, mainly in the office. That's what it says, so that's where I was.
That seems like a rather sketchy schedule.
Grrr. There he goes again. What the tiger did all December isn't the issue. What's important is what he was doing on the day of the murder. So, now what?
Well, I don't like that little red ball. And Faith just said it wasn't important, so I'm just gonna...
It's too dangerous to trust things without knowing where they might end up. I better just focus on gathering information at the moment.
Now then, Mr. Tigre, would you mind repeating your testimony from the beginning, please?
My time ain't free, you hear? You's better remember that. If I miss that bus, someone's gonna pay.
Why is you repeating it from the beginning? Now this is talking about what he did the day of the murder, though.
You could press on, I don't know nothing about no murder. I don't buy that you haven't even heard of the incident that occurred at Tribulations. Heh, you's got a big mouth, right? You's trying to say I was in on some mob hit? Is that what you trying to say?
Yes.
Where's your proof then? Evidence. Yeah, well, for an attorney to make an accusation in court, he must have evidence. That's from Lone Shark the Lawyer, A Beginner's Guide. Yeah?
Ah, I see you're the...
Studious.
I think that's right. Studious type, Mr. Tigray. Very good. Huh. What are you asking to represent you sometime, Wright? Wait, Eveline.
What should I do?
Should we press on? I forget. I have a save point. This is dumb anyway.
Mr. T, what do yous want? If you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail.
This is a dead-end fight, and you know it. Remember the rules. Pressing the witness out. Yeah, shut up. I maybe should have gone until I actually lost the points there, but...
So, yeah. I am Mr. Tigray. I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up with business in December. You pressed on this earlier, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to press a corner.
Mr. T, what do yous want?
This is the same thing.
If you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail. Dead end's right. You know it. No, it's essential that we establish the witness's alibi accurately.
I agree.
The victim was killed on December 3rd. Were you in the office that day, too? Maybe yous ain't listening. Of course I was. I never set foot outside. I had meetings all day with a bunch of cats wanting to do business with me. I ain't never seen that young kid before.
That's a lie. I do believe the witness's last statement was important. Mr. Couture, if you could please. Mr. Tigray, the court asked you to add that last statement to your testimony.
Don't let an animal beat you. Be a man, Your Honor, and ask him yourself.
I never saw that kid before. You lie. You lie. You lie. You lie.
Mr. Tigray, you claim you didn't know Mr. Glenn Elg, but it appears that Mr. Elg knew you. What? Mr. Elk left this little note on his calendar. Meet with the tiger. And the date? December 3rd.
December 3rd? That's the day of the murder.
So, Mr. Tigray, I submit that you did indeed know one Mr. Glenn Elg, because on the very day of the incident, you met with him. Not bad. You's actually not bad. Sorry. I was just messing with yous to see how good you were.
Lie?
Did you hear that, Nick? He said you're not bad. That's one compliment I can do without. Plus, he's lying through his teeth.
Witness, please remember you're under oath. Lies will not be tolerated.
You's calling me a liar? Is that what you're doing?
Whoa!
He is Scooby-Doo! Confirmed!
So you're saying that your claim to have never seen the kid before is the truth?
I said I'm dead serious. You's better believe that's the truth.
Huh. Then I'd say that gives me time to enjoy another cup of pure black magic. That is, why you testify for the court again, Mr. Tigray. Oh yes, would you mind telling the court, witness?
You never actually met the victim. That's got to be a lie right there. It's time I nailed this guy. I ain't no liar. I never met Glenn Elg. There was some lame guy with that name, though, wanted to borrow cash from me. I set up a meeting with the guy at my office 10 to Linda. I waited around for him, but he ain't never showed. I ain't never even been to that Tribulations joint. You's here?
That's a lie. I literally saw you there. I see. That all seems perfectly logical. You arranged to meet with the victim, but you didn't show up. For it's pretty hard to keep appointments when you're dead. Very well, you may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. Didn't I tell you I got a big deal going down today? I ain't gonna make my bus now. I'm gonna have to take the express train. That bill's going straight to you. Right. Grr.
Is the pressing...
I ain't, yeah.
Still has?
And yet, your name was written on the victim's calendar. Get that horse calendar out of my face. I'm the tiger, not a lame horse, you porcupine. Tigers like me eat horses like that for breakfast.
No, witnesses aren't permitted to eat evidence. Not that they ever would. Well, there was a case once where a young lad ate.
But anyway, if you had never met the victim before, how do you explain this note he left?
Yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah, these two are probably the important ones. This one, the one.
So your meeting wasn't supposed to be at Tribulations then? Why would I want to go to a dump like that? If I want to talk with my clients, I got an office decked out for the job. I got the best punching bag you ever saw in there. Not exactly a professional office you got there, you know. So you were in your office on the day in question. Never? Not even once? Not even once. I was in my office the day that went down. I didn't put no poison in no kid's coffee, capiche? Capiche. Sorry about that. I was stuck in my bad accent. Do you think he really didn't meet Glenelg? Not likely. Because I'm convinced this guy's behind the whole thing. So you mean that whole testimony he just gave was a lie? Of course. So we can't afford to give him time to think of ways to plug the leaks in it. Got to nail him while I still can. That's very strange. According to the manager of the firm where the victim works, December 3rd was the date he had to repay his loan. He wasn't due to discuss borrowing money, but repaying what he owed. Oh, yeah, maybe you's right. Whatever it was, I was going down at it was going down at the beginning of December. So you did meet Mr. Elk then. Hey, right. Yous might want to cool your jets a sec. He didn't show up?
Huh. What do you think, Wright? Let's see, how does a dead man get from a French restaurant to a loan shark's office?
And you yourself didn't go to Tribulations? What are you trying to pin on me here? Why don't yous come down to my office? We can chat about this thing my way, yeah? I got the best punching bag yous ever saw in there. No need. I'm good, thanks. Listen up. I ain't got nothing more to say except this.
Okay, so obviously we got evidence for some of this. Oh, okay, yeah, that's... Cool. Could be the Tribune man. No, probably.
Mr. Tigray, is there something you'd like to tell the court about these matches? Matches? What you talking about? We found them in your office at Tenderlinder. They're from that restaurant. If you've really never been to Tribulations before, what was the book of the restaurant's matches doing on your desk? You've been snooping around in my stuff now too, wise guy?
Yes.
What are you, my ball and chain? Ain't no broad controlling me.
Order. Well, witness? I think it's time you start telling us the truth, don't you?
No.
I'm terribly sorry, forgive me.
I ain't no pussy, cat. I don't go back on what I said. But, okay, I was at the joint that day. What? But listen good, alright? I might have been there, but I still never met that kid.
Well. Looks like an order just came in for another testimony.
I'm this close to proving it was him. He did meet Glenelg that day, and he did put poison in his coffee. He must have.
Tribulations.
Is that their new theme song? I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. I figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cop sirens on my way out, and I went straight back to my office.
I see. You didn't actually meet him in the end then. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Hold it. If I wait around here any longer, I ain't even gonna make the normal express. No more stupid questions.
Huh. No problem. Anytime Dwight presses you on something irrelevant, I'll see he pays a penalty. Oh my god. Mr. Godot, that's my job.
It's not. It's not. It's really not. I mean, kind of,
Your
but
job
not really.
is to slam that little hammer of yours and call it a guilty verdict, so do it. Yes, sir.
Special Express ain't cheap, right? Just so you know, since you's paying.
I'm going to press on every irrelevant thing, just to spite you.
I ain't paying shit. That's it. That's what you get.
Won't have to take any train if I hold you long enough. Okay, well, we'll win in the afternoon.
So the meeting wasn't due to take place at 10 to London at all, then. The kid was making a fuss about coming into the office. It's always that way when I want to talk about repayments. Even though I got the best punching bag you ever seen, if there are any real issues, maybe it's because of the punching bag that people are scared to come. So that's why you decided to meet at Tribulations?
Huh. You're going over old ground again, fight.
Sorry.
You just earned yourself a penalty now, son. Fuck off. Fuck off. God, I hate these guys.
The ones who designed the game?
Yes. Freaking save the game and reload after every penalty. Gosh.
Well, you could just get it right the first time.
I don't know what to press here. It's talking about, hey yo, I walked in, saw the guy dead, he was dead, so I left. Like, what?
You mean you saw Glenn Elk's dead body? I guess I did, but I only saw him from behind. He was wearing some raggy bit of cloth he called a hat. And what time was this? I don't know. Huh? You know what winds me up more than anything else in the world? Watches. Round watches. I ain't gonna pollute my paws with some ticking henpecker.
Out of interest, Mr. Tigray, what winds you up the second most?
Huh? What do you think? Square watches. This guy for real. Look, all I needed to know was that something bad was going down in that place.
What else did you see in that ugly scene?
An ugly scene? What do you mean?
Fuck you, Godot.
This is not going well. So you didn't actually set foot inside the restaurant then? The tiger is a busy cat. I don't hang around for no one. I ain't got time to be caught up in no murder investigation. So when exactly did you pick up the matches?
The match is just inside the front door. A detective friend wound up in trouble with the chef and took 5 books home.
Poor gumshoe. It's almost enough to make a man cry. You went straight back? Did a bout of guilt suddenly hit you for what you did? What are you trying to say? You trying to tell me you ain't never been guilty of nothing?
We all have our crosses to bear. We all have to swallow the dark secrets we hide. Like this.
The courtroom's not exactly the place to talk about dark secrets, is it?
Seems you... Fuck you! God, I hate this game.
Well, Nick, what do you think?
God.
He's running out of ways to avoid the truth. I need to press him further. I've got to come right back at him with a contradiction. Be careful what you press him on, though. You'll get penalized, okay?
I think the safe point before I press this is repress this real quick. I pressed him on everything now. I pressed him on everything though. Like, huh? There's two things I can press them on. I press them on both. You won't have been able to see him. But that's the entrance, and there's a big wall there.
Yeah. You're something of a loan collecting pro, aren't you, Mr. Tigre? No one escapes the tiger's clutches. Well, I'm something of a lie detecting pro. Yeah? And no one escapes the Phoenix's clutches. I think it's time we got something straight.
What's this, Wright? A new line of irrelevant questioning?
These are the floor plans of the crime scene. You say you were standing at the entrance, Mr. Tigre? From there, your field of vision would have covered an area something like this.
Indeed, the witness will have had a clear view of the victim's seat.
Isn't that what I just said? I saw the back of the kid's head. Unfortunately for you, that is not possible. If the court would think back, you'll remember that between each of the tables is a tall partition.
Why, that's true.
Now look at the plans again. The truth is painfully obvious. From the entrance, the field of vision of any customer walking in ends here. So, from the entrance of Tribulations, you couldn't have seen the victim's seat. But you did see the victim that day, because you met with him.
What? Have you forgotten the old man's testimony yesterday? The victim was alone at his table.
But the defense just proved that point to be moot. The victim witnessed by Mr. Kudo was not Glen Elg, but a fake.
What?
In order to have Mr. Kudo falsely testify, the real killer posed as the victim he had just killed and acted out a charade.
That will do. This trial's gone long enough without the obvious question being answered. Who exactly was this real killer who impersonated the victim? You say the killer murdered Glen Elk, and then impersonated his victim in a performance for Victor Kudo. In that case, Mr. Wright, reveal the identity of this criminal to the court. It was... Godot, get him! The Tigre.
The killer is The killer is Furio Tigre. No one else could have done it.
What? Well, witness?
Now that's cute. You think you can pin this on the tiger? Maybe you don't understand. The tiger is the king of the jungle. So I dare you to say it again. Come on, you got the guts?
I'll say it again. You can't threaten me, Mr. Tigway. It's the defense. Go ahead and tell Mr. White!
Sounds to me like it must be you, old man. You's got guts, I'll give you that.
Mr. White, you're not leaving me to have this alone. Huh. Perhaps I can end this embarrassment. Mr. Godot, let's go back over Mr. Kudo's testimony one more time. The old man didn't see just the victim. Oh, no. The shoving up bomb and Jalisino, but you put something in it. No question about it. She very conspicuously put some white powder in there. Was the victim he saw the real victim or not? That doesn't matter. The fact remains he saw the accused put the poison into the coffee. Yes, it was the waitress who poisoned the coffee.
Very impressive, Mr. Godot. Waiting for my absence to launch your attack.
Huh. Found your pin at last, Wright?
It was in my pocket. But anyway, Mr. Kudo witnessed two people that day. He saw the victim, the supposed Mr. Glenelg, and the waitress from behind.
Yes, your point, Mr. White?
I think the conclusion is obvious. If this Glenelg was really the killer in disguise, then surely it's possible the waitress was also part of the show.
What? You mean the waitress was an imposter as well?
The defendant, Miss Bird, fell unconscious immediately after the incident. And someone used her fainting to hatch an elaborate plan to pin the murder on her.
Who on earth was it? Who was this waitress that Mr. Kudo witnessed? It was Viola. Who is this woman?
Her name is Viola Cadaverini. She's an employee of Tenderlinder. Huh? What?
Nothing.
What? What'd you say?
Nothing.
What did you say?
Nothing.
No, I want to know now.
No.
Okay, I'm done then.
Okay. You's making a big mistake. The lines.
Just tell me what you said.
Why is it mumbling to myself? God.
What'd you mumble to yourself? It was about me. I know it was.
No. It was not about you. I assure you that.
Oh, I'm not worth talking about?
Fuck you. Do your fucking lines.
I'm gonna find other people to do YouTube videos with.
Do your fucking lines.
I can make friends too. You's making a big mistake. Do you know who Violetta's grandfather is? You better be going home in an armored truck tonight if you know what I mean. Stop shaking, Nick. Where was I? Yeah, the defendant, Ms. Bird, had stated the following.
But when I took the coffee over to the victim's table, it's true there was another customer in the restaurant. She was sort of creepy, and she had a kind of cackling laugh.
There are just too many contradictions in this case. The second man at the victim's table, who nobody but Miss Bird seems to have seen. The earpiece worn by the victim in his left ear when that eardrum was ruptured. And the radio show he was supposedly listening to half an hour after it was over. There's only one logical explanation that clears up all of these contradictions. The whole incident took place twice, once for real and once for show. And Mr. Furio Tigre, the only person who could have committed the crime, is you.
Witness? What have you got to say?
That's cute.
Sorry?
You's alright. I could do with a guy like you around. What do you mean? Okay, I'm in on this game. I'm gonna have to charter a jet to get me to my meeting now, but I'm gonna give yous one more thing to think about before I go. Something to think about. Yous got it all wrapped up nice, alright. But you's missed out on one real important thing. But that can't be. I was in the joint that day, and I met that kid too. But I couldn't have poisoned him, you see her?
What? Do you really expect us to believe you now, Mr. Seagray? Huh. What a troublemaker.
It's a troublemaker?
Looks like we're going to need another one for the road. One more steaming cup of hot testimony. Indeed. Witness, you'll explain yourself to the court. I'll give you one more chance to testify. What happened that day at Tribulations between yourself and the victim?
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, I loaned El Cash about $100,000. That day, we was due to have a little chat. The kid had hit his payback date, see? So anyway, he tells me he's got no way to pay up. I'm about to flatten the guy when he starts screaming. Yes, I won $500,000. He got lucky, you know, real lucky. If that waitress hadn't done what she done, everything would have been over.
Now I see that. The principal amount you will own to Mr. Oak was $50,000.
Yeah, well, you've got the VIG to take into account. Interest builds up fast, you know. It's faster than fast. $100,000 is twice his principal.
And the repayment deadline was December 3rd, the day of the incident in question.
Yeah, he was one lucky kid. He got that $500,000 just in time. So I ain't have no reason to kill the kid. And if I ain't got no motive, you ain't got no case.
Let's play a motive.
His motive, He has to have one, but what is it?
Get repaid $100,000 or steal $500,000. Darn, that's a tough motive to figure out. Hold it.
Did he have any way of paying the loan back? The fool was a gambler. He said he couldn't give it up till he landed a big win, so I agreed to help him.
Help him? You?
I kept hitting him with ideas for ways he could get a big win, but the guy kept losing. So you were helping him for his sake or yours? Win through compromise. Yous help me, I help yous. What's the difference, huh? I don't believe this. Nick, would anyone really ever loan money to someone they thought was unreliable? Like, for example, if it were you, I'd only loan you $5 max. Thanks a lot, Maya. So how much were you expecting him to pay you back on that day? What do you think? The whole package, $100,000 including interest. That's a real heavyweight punch. Once a client misses a repayment, you call the whole loan in. You want to make it in my world? That's all you's gotta know.
And how many times has Mr. Elk been late with his repayments?
Once. And how much was he supposed to pay back every month? $50. Sounds like Mr. Elk was in a real sticky spot. Yeah, at $50 a month, he'd never pay that huge loan off. How much did he have left on his debt? You wanted round figures, about $100,000. That's the whole amount.
We're talking about a guy who had 58 cents in his wallet.
What? You telling me he wasn't even going to pay for the coffee?
He certainly seemed to have been a brave man, this Mr. Oak.
The guy was smooth, I tell you. He was real smooth. You'll have your money in less than 5 minutes. That's what he says to me. The guy then calls me the Tender Tiger. He was skating on thin ice with me. Was that because the guy won the lottery? Was his last chance at a big win?
And you can confirm that this is the ticket in question?
That's it.
The Millionaire Radio Show starts at 10:30 p.m. and runs for 10 minutes. That figures the time you met with some accuracy.
And the whole scene was acted out again 30 minutes later. Also that Mr. Kudo would see it.
Yeah, that's specifically.
I can still see the kid's face now. I ain't never gonna forget it. Was there anyone else in the restaurant at the time? I don't remember. There was no one there. I'll wear that ridiculous cider shirt for a month. Mr. Armstrong, Maggie, and if I'm right, Viola Cadaverini were all there at that time.
So the victim had intended to repay you from his lottery winnings from the beginning?
Seems that way to me.
But you wouldn't normally expect to win the lottery, would you? Huh. The undying belief that your next war will end the worst losing streak you've ever had. That's what defines a true gambler.
He makes it sound so cool. Don't be tempted, Nick. You haven't got the willpower for it. All I know is the kid took a shot and he got lucky in the end. The waitress, you mean? The girl with the glasses in the defendant's chair. Who else could I mean? If she hadn't gotten away, things would have been bada bing, bada boom, over and done with. Maybe I should push on this a little. What do you mean things would have been over and done with? Are yous all there or what? I'm talking about the cash. I was there to get my $100,000 back. That's all. I'm a businessman. It was all coming together before the waitress got in the way.
As far as I can tell from the witness's testimony, other than recouping his loan, Mr. Tigre had no motive for killing the victim. Witness, you amend your testimony to reflect what you just said.
Tiger's motive, huh? Are you saying you had no other motives that day? Yeah, so what?
Then why didn't you take the lottery ticket when you left?
Why do you think? Because of Four Eyes over there. Because of Maggie. How about you go ask Four Eyes about that $500,000 ticket? She wanted it so bad, she poisoned Elg's coffee. A likely theory. Your word hasn't held water lately, Mr. T. Gray.
Let's not forget this witness was actually at the scene fight.
The law don't exactly agree with some of the deals I send down. I couldn't be there when the cops showed up, so I split.
I see. Your Honor, the witness's last few statements hold a good 2 cups of coffee. Well, Mr. Wright, are you happy with testimony, or would you like to amend it? Yeah, sure, I'll amend it, just in case.
I'm not going to get anywhere with the testimony as it stands. Your Honor, the defense would like the testimony amended.
Very well. Witness, you'll amend your testimony to reflect the evidence in place.
Tiger's trying to pin the crime on Maggie. If I ask him about what he saw, it's only going to damage our case. What do you mean things would have been over and done with?
Yeah, there's... Yeah, you can keep amending it. Okay, but what if this was his reason to kill the guy?
So you just intended to get back the $100,000 Mr. Elg owed you, correct? I loaned the guy the cash, so that's my right. Unfortunately for Mr. Elg, I don't believe the $100,000 is what you were really after.
What are you getting at, fight? What else could a money lender be after other than money?
Oh, the moneylender was after money, but money in a totally different league. The kind of money that a single disc like this would fetch.
What is that?
A computer virus, Your Honor. A virus called MC Bomber.
A computer virus? What does one of those do?
A computer virus is a program that wreaks havoc on the insides of a computer.
A computer? What does one of those do?
Guess the beard isn't the only part of his honor that is from the Stone Age. I'll explain it to you later, Your Honor. Right now, this is the important point. A virus like MC Bomber would be worth several $1 million on the black market.
Several $1 million?
Lending money with no hope of ever seeing repayment would normally be bad for business. But in this case, the very fact that Glenelg had no way to repay the money is crucial.
What?
Glenelg was a programmer, a highly skilled programmer. That skill was the collateral Mr. Elg put up in order to borrow the money.
You're trying to suggest the witness's motive was to get hold of that program.
Exactly.
The witness may have poor fashion sense, but he's by no means an idiot, right? A man like him could get his hands on $1 million that was owing to murder.
Of course he could, provided he had time. But what if he had needed the money right then? When the pressure's on, the luxury of choice tends to disappear.
Seems you have a logical conclusion for this theory, Mr. Wright. Would you care to share with us? Why did Mr. Tigre need money to the tune of $1 million? Why do you need it, bro? You gotta tell me, bro. Why do you need it, bro? Dooba dooba bo, a dooba booga bo, dooba gooba dooba go, a shoopa dooba gooba 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 dooba goo.
In December of last year, you found yourself in need of a huge amount of money. About 6 months ago, you were involved in a traffic accident, weren't you? An accident involving a car and a scooter, in which a young woman was injured. She was taken to the hospital where she underwent surgery. How much of this do you know? These medical papers document the treatment of the young woman in question. According to these, her operation cost $1 million. And yet, when the payment was due last month, you somehow managed to pay it in full.
$1 million? A preposterous sum. Someone should sue those HMOs. Huh. No one would pay a bill like that. The medical association got wind of it, the hospital would end up dead as a morgue.
But Mr. Tigre had no choice but to pay, because his very life depended on it.
Order! You say his life depended on Mr. Wright?
Indeed it did, simply because the injured woman was none other than Viola Cadaverini.
Did you say Cadaverini?
Bruto Cadaverini, mob boss in charge of all underworld activities in the city, and doting grandfather to his precious Violetta, also known as Viola Cadaverini. Your life was in danger unless you paid compensation to the boss, correct? It makes sense. You were desperate to acquire the $1 million Bruto Cadaverini demanded of you. So desperate, in fact, that you decided to sacrifice Glenelg's life to pay your debt. On the day of the murder, Mr. Tigre's sole intention was to get his hands on this CD. Glenelg had no way of paying back the $100,000, and Mr. Tigre knew it. But then a miracle happened. The kind that Mr. Tigre would prefer to say never happened, but he can't, and neither can I.
The lottery win.
Exactly. At the 11th hour, Mr. Elg won $500,000 on the lottery, which left Mr. Tigre with no way of getting his hands on the all-important CD. At least, no legitimate way. So he resorted to illegitimate means.
That's crazy.
He murdered Glenelg and then made his next move to frame Maggie Bird for the crime. Mr. Tigre posed as Glenelg, while Viola Cadaverini played the role of Miss Bird. And then they reenacted the whole thing in order to establish a witness. The witness being the one we all heard testify yesterday, Mr. Victor Kudo.
Like I said, Wright, that's crazy. No one could pull off a stunt like that. For starters, there's no way the chef could have been kept in the dark about it.
But Mr. Armstrong was in on it from the very beginning. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Godot? Mr. Armstrong owed the witness money too, $500,000 in fact. He had no choice but to go along with Mr. Tigre's plan.
Order, order, silence, or I'll clear the courtroom.
You's put on a good show, Spikey. If yous want to stay alive in the loan shark business, you gotta be careful. You saying I dressed up like that kid, created a witness and framed someone? If I did something crazy like that, I'd leave a trail as bright as my shirt. I ain't dumb enough to do something sloppy like that. I agree. You do? Despite your appearance, you are very careful. That's why you took one more precaution. One more trick to make sure Miss Bird had no way out.
What? Another one, Mr. Wright? Interesting. Why don't you fill us all in, Wright? What was this trick you say Mr. Tigre performed to frame the accused? Impersonating me? And what's the relevance of that? Fine. No, that's fuck you. God. That's the thing he did. They have to present the cardboard toys badge or something instead. Fuck, I don't have a safe. I don't have another safe on this. You want this? Yeah, okay, that's what you want. Okay. Oh no, what is that? What an insult to think anyone could be fooled by such a childish imitation.
Consider yourself insulted, Your Honor. Mr. Tigre, you didn't just pose as the victim on the day in question. A month ago in this very court, you posed as me.
What? That's...
The truth.
But... the witness looks nothing like you, Mr. Wright. Although, as I think about it, it was you, wasn't it? No doubt it was you, standing here in this very courtroom a month ago. The fixed one who put up the most disreputable, shabby defense I'd ever seen. Can you prove that, Gramps? Prove the attorney who represented the accused here a month ago was this man. Are you prepared to take that stand and testify that it was him?
Forget about it, yeah. I wouldn't do something like that, not me. You made a mistake, right? It was someone else, huh? Have you no pride, sir?
This isn't a matter of pride. In case you didn't know, right here in court, you deal with people's lives. Mr. Godot is right.
Your Honor.
Speaking for myself, I'm absolutely convinced. The attorney in question was the witness standing before me now, however. The presiding over this court is the judge, with the vested power to hand down verdict. Someone in my position cannot be swayed by a member without evidence to support. Fuck you.
No.
Defense had no further evidence. The court now excused witness. Circumstances surrounding Mr. Tigre are dubious for sure, but not conclusive.
But we've come so far.
You say impersonating Glen Elk. You say impersonating you. But none of that adds up to a murder charge. You don't have a shred of evidence that the witness poisoned the victim's coffee.
Aha! Sucks to be you, Wright. Don't mess with the tiger, or you're gonna get mauled. You's got that? All we managed to do here was chase him around a bit. I was so close to getting him to admit his own guilt.
Huh. Looks like I won't be needing a refill.
If I just had one more piece of evidence.
Darn it.
Or one more piece of evidence, and I could get Maggie off the hook.
If only. This witness's cross-examination is over. You're free to go, Mr. Tigre.
Hold it, pal! God damn it. Wait. Oh, there we go. Your Honor, sir. Wait!
Detective!
Detective Gumshoe. Sorry I took so long, pal. I staked everything on this. My badge, the works. So here it is. My heart's counting on this, too.
What is it, Detective?
Isn't it obvious, pal? It's the final decisive piece of evidence. What?
What?
Whoa.
These absorb Furio Tigre? January 2:48 p.m. District Court, Fin Lobby number 1.
Sorry it took so long, pal, but I finally got the results from the lab. The results? About the prints, pal, from this medicine bottle. Oh, so, do you know who the prints belong to now? Do you think I'm some kind of hack detective? Of course yes. I know. So, tell us. They're the tigers, right? I knew it. You bet. Clear as crystal, all over the bottle. They're Furio Tigre's paw prints, all right. That's great. We've got him now, Nick. What's wrong with you? You've hardly said a word since Detective Gumshoe got here. He's laid everything on the line for this, Nick. I know. Look, I'm sorry. It's kind of hard to say, but it really doesn't make any difference whose prints are on that bottle now. Huh? What? Why not? What we need to produce at this stage in the trial is irrefutable evidence that the tiger put poison in Glen Elk's coffee. He's already admitted that he met the victim. The fact that his prints are on this bottle, that really doesn't make any difference now. I knew it. Great. No matter how hard I try, I'm never of any use. Hey, don't be so hard on yourself. This was our last chance to help Maggie, and I've been working on some useless piece of evidence the whole time. It's alright. I'm a real loser. It's not breaking news to me, pal.
Detective Gumshoe?
Maggie?
You've been working on something for me?
Sorry I let you down, Maggie. I know you didn't do it. And I'm a detective. I'm supposed to prove stuff like that. I'm really sorry. I'll get out of here now.
Detective Gumshoe, wait!
He's gone.
He gone.
Is there anything we can do now, Nick? I wish there was. Gumshoe worked so hard to get that evidence. If only there was some way I could use it.
Alright, well, thanks for watching this episode of Gabby Game Night. Like, comment, subscribe, good chat, fantasy, and most importantly,
sorry I'm such a loser, pal.
Good night.
Gabby the Game Night, Gabby the Game Night, Gabby the Game Night, yay. Come on and watch her play. New games every other day. If you subscribe now, you won't miss out on any of the action. So come on, click that subscribe button.